Hey cuties, what's going on? So I've been getting a ton of questions, like, King, where's the beginner guy? King, was this a good team? King, how do I get so many gems like you, whatever. So today we're gonna be pretty much talking about it's gonna be like a pseudo tier list, because like it's gonna be a tier list, but not really. I'm just gonna tell you guys like what units is good, what units you can use at this as a starter unit, or whatever. The ways that I get gem, which is pretty simple. But first we're gonna be talking about the units, because those of you who first start the game, or are like still pretty new to the game, are gonna need good units. Well, gonna need some decent units at first to even like do the gem method. Well, not a gem method, but like get gems in the first place. So first couple of units you can go ahead and grab, like even rare units, like a rare unit everybody's been using. I'm pretty sure I still has not gotten nerfed. Sanji is very cheap. He's a rare, so he's easy to get. And what makes Sanji so good is that once you upgrade him a little bit, he already does like a decent amount of damage that can kill like the DBZ enemies. And then once you upgrade him a little bit, he has like this burn damage or whatever that he does. And if you put like a bunch of Sanjis down, they're pretty much just laying waste to all the mobs that run through because of his like mini burn damage. Plus he does like a good like 100 or 80 or something like that damage as well on top of the burn. And then you throw like somebody else in the back. I don't know, say like, I don't know, you can get Jotaro. Jotaro is good for a time stop, so definitely try to get him. He's an epic unit. He's pretty easy to get. Jotaro in the back for a time stop to finish him off if anybody gets away. Or I'm trying to think. It's not really any summon units in the beginning. So yeah, mainly Sanji as like a good rare to get. And then you talk about epics, Jotaro, like I said, Jotaro is very good. He's a time stop unit. He does decent damage, so he's very good to have on your team. Overhaul is what I started the game with, and he was carrying me throughout the like entire DBZ place. So Overhaul is not bad at all for epics. Speedwagon is very necessary for your team because you want to have cash. So whenever you see Speedwagon in the banner, definitely try to go for him. Like if you don't have any legendaries or any mythics or whatever, try to get Jotaro too. If you see him in the banner, definitely get Speedwagon. He's going to be necessary no matter what your team is. Overhaul is not the worst thing to summon for. He like I said, he carried me throughout DBZ. I had Overhaul. I had actually my team was so bad to start. Yo, appreciate the sub, man. I had Overhaul, Jotaro, and then I had Goku Black and Goku Blue. These two legendaries you do not want to summon for. They are not great at all. But yeah, you can definitely get Jotaro for sure. Get Overhaul. Get Sanji. And those are like the weakest units you could probably get. And then you go ahead and get Speedwagon for your farm. Do not go for Bulma. Speedwagon is better for Bulma. If we're talking story mode, Speedwagon, he's cheaper. You can get him out a lot faster and get your money up faster. Even for infinite mode, if you don't struggle on the earlier waves, Speedwagon is still probably the way to go, because like if you get past the earlier waves, then it's not really going to matter who you're using for money, because Speedwagon, because you'll just have a absurd amount of money anyway, and you'll just have extra, so it wouldn't really matter who you use at that point. Pain is decent because he pushes enemies back, and the main thing with infinite mode, like story mode maybe not so much, but main thing with infinite mode, you want to be able to stall the units, so he pushes units back. He doesn't work on every single unit, which is why I say he's pretty mid. If it worked on every unit, he'll be like probably a top tier unit, but he only pushes some of them back. Some of the units could still sometimes get through. The bosses don't really get pushed back, so he's not really the greatest. Then moving on to the rest of the legendary units, like I said, these two are trash. Erwin, best legendary unit you can get. If you want to go for any legendary unit in the game, go for either Dio or Erwin. Erwin mainly. Well, Dio's like the best unit in the game too. He's like one of the best units in the game too. But Erwin is such a good support unit. He buffs, he summons goddamn horses that do thousands and thousands of damage once you upgrade him. And like I say, he can buff. And you can spawn 3 of him, so you can do 3 horses that do thousands of damage at once. Then you can like constantly buff all of your DPS units. Say you get like a mythic or something, you can constantly buff all your DPS units. Like, it's pretty insane. If you don't get Erwin, Aaron is a good substitute. He's not as good, and he doesn't buff, and his summons don't do as much damage. But if you don't have Erwin, he's still not bad to have. But I would just recommend summoning for Erwin, not Aaron at all. Aaron is pretty mid. Sorry to say it. Like, I love the character, like in the anime, but like he's pretty mid, bro. All these other rares or whatever, just don't even worry about them. I think Josuke's pretty solid, but if you can go for a rare, at least just go for Sanji. Sanji's better than all of them. Dio, time stop, W damage, and like yeah, it's just like a automatic time stop. Whenever you upgrade him and get to his road roller attack, he just time stops every enemy every time he attacks. And you don't have to activate it like you do with Jotaro. So if you have Jotaro, he's still not bad. But if you end up getting Dio, you won't need Jotaro anymore really, because Jotaro is a manual time stop. You have to actually activate his ability. Dio is automatic. So whenever he attacks, he just time stops. It's fucking fire. I think that's all the let me check some stuff. I think that might be all like the little main the main units that everybody use. Let me check the unit banners and stuff like that, see if I'm missing anybody, because then we might have to start talking about mythics. Oh, Hitachi. All right, so Hitachi is also pretty solid. He's a heal unit, which is pretty nice, but there's not really any flying units in the game, so heal units don't matter necessarily. But he also does I think it was burn damage. He does something. He does burn damage. Anything with burn damage is pretty solid. If you have the extra spot on your team, definitely run burn damage if you have it. Dabi, I actually have no clue what Dabi does, but nobody really talks about using him, so I wouldn't recommend getting him. Like, if you're going to get a legendary, Erwin or Dio for sure, you would not need Dabi. Don't try to get Pain. Don't try to get Balma. Instead of Balma, get Speedwagon. Giorno is pretty good too if you get him. But like I said, if you're going for a legendary, go for Dio. Don't roll for any other legendary unless it's Dio or Erwin. Other than that, look, Giorno just popped in the shop. If you want a legendary, do not go for anybody else but Dio or Erwin. That's all you really need. Just get Dio, Erwin, and then if you want to go for, like, if you can't really get mythics or whatever, if you want to go for legendaries, like I said, Dio, Erwin, and then for epics, go for Speedwagon and probably Jotaro. Speedwagon, or am I missing somebody? Erwin, Dio, Speedwagon, and or maybe Sanji's only good for story mode though. He's only good to start off in story mode. Well, yeah, if you're trying to do story mode, then yeah, you can use Sanji. But then if you're going like later rounds, Speedwagon, Erwin, Dio, and probably Jotaro, so you can time stop yourself personally. I think Kakyuing is like decent enough, but like I said, you'd rather go for Jotaro instead of him anyway. And then that's pretty much like all the good legendary, epic, and rare units. So now we're gonna talk about mythic units. So best two mythic units in the game, Broly and Madara. Broly, once you evolve him, actually even before then, alright, let's talk about the non-evolved forms. So evolved Broly, non-evolved Broly still has full AoE, but he does a little bit less damage than Madara, just a tad bit, and Madara does a little bit more damage, but only for a cone AoE. And then once you evolve both of them, Broly has basically infinite range. Madara has an insane amount of range too, but like I said, it's still the cone AoE, so that's why I think Broly is the better mythic to have, because of his full AoE when he's evolved, and the fact that he does like 7k damage when buffed up by Erwin. It's pretty nuts. Madara is still not bad to have though, but if you have both of them, they're pretty insane. Armin, everybody's arguing that Armin's pretty bad. I mean, I sort of agree. I feel like he could do more damage, but I've been using the hell out of Armin for the nuke damage, because like he does like 8k damage for me, and then I have 3 of them, so that's like 24k damage like every 45 seconds. It's not the worst thing in Infinite, but in story mode you're not going to use him. But Infinite, he's not bad to have at all. But if you're going to go for a mythic, go for Broly, go for Madara, even go for Rengoku. Rengoku I heard is really good, or All Might. All Might is like pretty balanced from what I heard. Pretty balanced, does good AoE damage, does good damage overall. The only thing that's bad about him is his range, I think, or his cooldown. I can't remember. It's one of the things that's bad about him. But like I said, if you're gonna go for, if you're past the legendary stage and you're going for a mythic, Broly, and Madara main two. And once you get those two, go for Rengoku. Basically, I think Rengoku's solid, or maybe All Might. Rengoku. So Broly, Madara first, then Rengoku, All Might. Get either one of those two, and then after that, it's pretty much all you need. Just fill your team up with like the other stuff. Actually, even then, you won't even need those mythics. If you get Broly and Madara, Dio, Speedwagon, and then you get the 5th one, Erwin, or even Erwin instead of Dio, and then you just want to have those 5. Like, I'm gonna work on trying to get Madara. Now I'm gonna have Broly, Madara, Dio, Speedwagon, Erwin. That's pretty solid. The best, like, for those of you who can't get mythics, the best team you could possibly have is Dio, Erwin, Speedwagon, and Jotaro. I'm pretty sure. If you can't get mythics, Speedwagon, Erwin, Dio, Jotaro, those four. And if you get a fifth one, try to go for a mythic, or you can go for Giorno or some other like top tier like damage legendary. But I think that's all the units I went over. Like all the decent units I went over pretty much. Levi is mid as a heal unit. Until there's flying units, he won't be necessary at all. He might as well go for the other mythics. He doesn't do bad damage, but it's like he's just mid compared to the other mythics, bro. But yeah, now we're gonna go to gem farming. So if you have VIP or premium, one of the first things I'm going to tell you is AFK overnight. You see this 1200 gems? I literally got that from just AFKing overnight while I was sleeping. I'm sleeping and gaining tons and tons of gems. That's one of the main things that I do. If you, or what's up, Speed Dial? If you go into the story mode, so mainly the best way to farm gems is story mode. Clear all the story modes you can. You get 75 gems each story mode you complete. So keep finish out your Nami story modes, grind out your Attack on Titan story modes, grind out your Demon Slayer story modes, and grind out your Sand Village story modes. Complete the entire story. You get 75 gems each. So if you do, it's 24 stages. Let me find my phone. It's 24 stages to complete, and you get 75 gems each stage. So 24 times 75, that's 1800 gems you get by just doing the story mode. And that's why I say it's imperative to get your units first, because you're most likely not going to be able to complete most of these story modes without those units, especially the last one, Hidden Sand Village. You need a bomb ass AoE unit, because the boss there is so hard without an AoE unit. Or you can get somebody to carry you if you want. That's up to you. But that's 1800 gems for the first story mode. And then there's a hard variant of everything too. And it's pretty much the same thing over again. You just do the hard version and you get 75 gems for each one. I still haven't even done all these. So if I ever need to grind out gems, I'm going to do the rest of the hard ones. Like I still got a bunch of hard ones to do. I did all of the hidden sand ones, I think. I didn't do that many of the rest of them though. So you get another 1800 gems by doing all of the hard mode ones. And yeah, that's one of the ways to farm gems. And then you can also go into infinite mode. If you're pretty good at the game, pretty solid or whatever, you can go to infinite mode to get to like wave 100, and you can get about like 400 something gems, something like that, which is not bad. That's about like an hour of your time, maybe an hour and a half. You get like 400, 300, 400, 500 gems, something like that, which is about, if you're like not VIP, not premium, you get like 500 gems in like 8 hours. Is half of VIP and stuff like that. I got like 1,000 gems in 7-8 hours, so you get like 500 gems in 7-8 hours. So if you go into infinite mode and get to like wave 100, if you're decent enough, you'll get like 8 hours worth, 6 to 8 hours worth of gems. You get like 6 to 8 hours worth of gems overnight. And then the final thing, hold on, let me tell him, yo, I'm recording, can't talk. But the final thing, he made me lose fucking track, bro. So infinite mode, actually I think that's it. Infinite mode, your story mode for sure. Oh yeah, and then daily quest. Daily quests are like the biggest thing, boys. So if you come into daily quests as well, I need to do these because they just popped up. Like, look at this, 50 gems, 80 gems, 105 gems. Wait, my math right? Yeah, 105 gems. No, 115. Yeah. 115 gems, 165 gems, 180 gems, and to top it off with 330 gems right there, bro. You get 330 gems, and it's kind of random because you can get like probably, I think you can get like all, maybe like story, you get like story 2, story 3, then kills 4, kills 5, multiplayer 3. You get like a ton of gems on each challenge. And then you got the 150 you get from completing all your daily quests. Then you also have these main quests you get from doing story modes. So on top of the 75 gems you get from your first clear, you also get an extra 10 gems for doing your main quest. And then whenever, I guess, events come into the game, you have event quests you can do for gems. Like mainly just grinding out your daily quests, grinding out your story mode, your infinite mode. And if you can't get further in the story, do DBZ infinite mode. If you cannot get further in the story, you're stuck on the story mode, keep doing DBZ infinite mode to farm gems. That way you can get a better unit to farm in infinite, to farm the story mode and get further in the story mode to get more gems that way. that is the best way to do it, because you can do DBZ infinite mode easily, and you get like wave 50, and even on infinite mode you get like daily gem tallies too. So like if you get the wave 50, at least you get like 90, like 100 gems here, which is pretty good. Like 100 gems every day, and plus the extra gems you get from just doing infinite mode in general. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the ways to get gems, to get units of the game. It's like, bro, that's all you really need. The game is really not that complex. It's really not. So yeah, as a recap, if you're a new player, go for Sanji, go for Jotaro, go for Speedwagon, epic units, rare units. And then if you're trying to go for legendaries, Dio, Irwin, mainly, only those two. And if you're going for mythics, Broly, Madara, and you're pretty much good. Just fill it up with the rest of the stuff that I told you. And then to farm gems, story mode, infinite mode. If you're stuck on story, go to infinite mode and DBZ. Farm up your waves there. Do your daily quests, and don't forget to AFK overnight. And you can't, there's no infinite AFK, so make sure you have auto clicker so you don't disconnect. And if you disconnect by internet or whatever, they save your gems. The gems just go into your account, so you're Gucci. I disconnected overnight. I still got my 1,000 gems, so we're chilling. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, man. So I hope you guys got help from this, and yeah, catch you boys in the next one, man. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I see. Oh, wait, did I already say catch you in the next one? Yeah, I did. All right, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, catch you boys in the next one. Peace.